Welcome to a late night version of Inside Indiana Overtime. Jordan Gusky, Alex McCarthy, and I guess this would be double overtime.
Oh yeah.
If the Indiana game went into overtime, but it's the first time this year that the Indiana men's basketball team has gone into overtime. They lose for the first time in Big Ten play, 82-79 at Madison, where they have not won since their first time playing there in 1998. So that streak continues. Indiana's 7-game Big Ten winning streak, continues, and it's 12. Sorry, doesn't continue, and its 12-game winning streak overall is also over. It's their first loss since losing to Duke in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. First of all, why do you think it was that they lost? I mean, we can point to a number of things, but what do you think the biggest factor was in them losing this game?
I think first off, just the offense didn't really play together. I mean, you look at Yogi Ferrell only had 1 assist. Overall, they only had 6 assists on 28 baskets. And if we look at previous games, this is a team that would have assists on at least half or more than half of their made shots. And that's what made IU so difficult. They would pass, they'd make that extra pass, and that's what would get them the open shots. And tonight, that's what they didn't do. They didn't get the extra pass. They didn't make that open shot. Like Ferrell's shot at the buzzer at the end of regulation was a shot that he probably could have made a smarter decision on. Not that he would have made it anyway, but there were different points throughout the game where you could see that it just wasn't the same IU offensive team. And I know that they do end with 79 points, but it's a deceptive 79. They shot only 45%. I think they were below 40% in the first half shooting. It's just it wasn't the same offense. And when you're on the road, you turn the ball over 19 times, you need to make sound offensive decisions, and they just didn't do that.
Yeah, they came in leading the Big Ten in assists per game during conference play with 18 per game. And like you said, 6 assists. The ball just wasn't moving nearly as much. They didn't find open threes nearly as much. They were 7 for 16 from behind the arc, but that was pretty much all Yogi Ferrell. He was 5 for 6. He had 30 points. And then on the other side of the ball, Nigel Hayes just totally dominated. He got to the line. It seemed like every possession he was shooting free throws. And of course there were IU fans who were upset about that. Tom Crean was upset about that after the game. Maybe not upset, but the first thing he said on his post-game radio show was, it's frustrating when we lose the free throw margin by 19 and lose the game by 3. But Nigel Hayes, to his credit, shot 22 free throws and made 17 of them, so he made the most of his opportunities. Fell 1 short of his career high. He ended with, in terms of scoring, he ended with 31 points, and Wisconsin was just able to get inside and force Indiana into foul trouble. I mean, they fouled out Colin Hartman, they fouled out Thomas Bryant, and just got Indiana routinely in foul trouble, where they had to kind of mix and match in the post, and that threw Indiana off defensively. Wisconsin ends up with 36 points in the paint, but really the two guys who really did the most damage to Indiana were Hayes and then Ethan Happ, who had 25 points and was just not afraid whatsoever of Thomas Bryant. Not that you would really be afraid of a fellow freshman, but still, Happ just went in face first and kind of muscled Bryant out of the way a lot of times, which was not a welcome sight, obviously, for Indiana fans who are going to be awaiting Thomas Bryant playing other big-bodied players, including freshmen like Caleb Swanigan, Diamond Stone, guys like that. So certainly some reasons for concern here, but Indiana, as badly as they played in some aspects of the game, you mentioned the 19 turnovers, the kind of stagnant ball movement. I mean, they were in it until the very, very end. So they kind of made the best of a tough environment, certainly, and a pretty poor overall performance. But they return back here at Bloomington on Saturday, where they play Minnesota, which should be a much easier game than this one at Wisconsin. So we'll be there for that. Should be exciting, at least a better backdrop for overtime, if nothing else. So we'll see you then, but for now we're going to sign off. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you soon.